Hey, I'm Tyler Huffman, a screenwriter and actor, and I am embarking on a new project where I am writing some pulp short stories featuring a character named Jay Priest. Now, I have just started this journey. I have 3 issues pretty much completed, ready to be published as soon as I get done nitpicking. But I wanted to start documenting this journey to see where it goes, see where the evolution of the process goes. So far, it's been, I work on a issue a week, and I'm able to produce an issue from story concept all the way through the writing of the first draft, through a second and third draft, with readers, with graphic design, with cover art, and everything out to a proof in about a week and a half, because Amazon takes so long to print things. I can't believe them, they take so long. So I wanted to just start taking you with me and start talking about what that journey has looked like so far and what it has evolved into and what I'm kind of noticing in the process. So let's dive in. Now, I can't begin to talk about Jay Priest without talking about my other novel, Cam Ops. In this story, it is about 2 camera operators who uncover an assassin working in their city, but they need to get the footage to prove that it's happening. Now, one of the characters has this delusional outlook on this person as if they are a virtuous, good person. And the reason they see this is because what they're witnessing, the violence that they're seeing, reminds them of a fictional character from television in their universe, in the Cam Ops universe, named Jay Priest. Now, originally in these pages, I had the first Jay Priest storyline intercut throughout the chapters. So you would read a few chapters of Cam Ops, then you would get a chapter of Jay Priest. You'd read a few more chapters of Cam Ops, then you get another chapter of Jay Priest, and that tells you the first storyline of Jay Priest, Ticket to Bayonet. That was the first introduction to him, and for me, it was a way for you to kind of just get inside my character's head and understand his delusion. Understand why he sees this person who is killing people as a good person. Trouble was, when my readers went to read it, they started getting confused, going back and forth between the 2 storylines. It didn't necessarily work as the supplemental material that I thought it was going to work as, and it ended up just halting the progress of Cam Ops itself from getting to its exciting conclusion. And so I decided to cut the Jay Priest storyline out entirely, just mention him but a few times in here so you know that my character is having a delusion. You just don't know the breadth of the fine details of Jay Priest's fighting style and how he charms his way out of situations or into situations. All of that got completely removed, and it's fine. The book reads excellent without it, but then I had this other story that was just hanging out. He's set up here on my wall on a Post-it note. I got this idea wall, and he just sat right up here for some reason at the top. I slapped him right up there, and I said, one day I'm going to do something with you. One day. And then that day came. I already had the cover art. I was going to do a much thicker book. It was going to be an anthology of several short stories, and it was going to be, a lot of Jay Priest all in one, and I was going to release it all together. But then I saw somebody releasing zines on YouTube, and I thought, wait a minute. My short story is about the length of a zine. It's 50 pages. That could be a great little issue to release. So I got on Amazon like I do with my other books, and I printed me up a copy. And I just wanted to see what it would look like. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier. It's just a wonderful little issue. They're short chapters. You can get through them quick. And it's just a delightful read. And I say that as the author, but I honestly, I do enjoy just the size of the book. Now, reading one of these is great, but you can pick up one of these in an afternoon and be done with it in an hour, just like watching a movie. Then I made a goal for myself. I said, you're going to find out how long it takes you to write one of these first. That's your first goal. Find out how long it takes you to write one, because you wrote this over a course of a couple months while writing Cam Ops. you don't know how long it takes you to write these particular 50 pages. So I came up with another story, and that ended up being J. Priest Dead End. Now I wrote it, figured it out to be about 50 pages the same way so that the issues were going to come out to be about the same. And that process told me that I could get an issue done in 1 week. So I came up with the entirety of that story on a Monday, wrote the first chapter, I believe, or two, I think, on that Monday. And then I broke it out through the rest of the week as I think I needed to get about 10 pages a day done, or about 2 chapters. However that worked out, that's what I needed to get done to make a goal of being done by Friday. I wanted to be done Friday so that I could start cover artwork on Saturday. While I'm working on that, I have my reader, who's a dear friend of mine, and she takes a PDF of my book and she reads through it. She finds all the errors that I wasn't able to find on my second pass through, and she gives me notes back with like story notes saying this was confusing, or this could be changed, or why don't you write it this way? Why don't you format it this way? Because this could be more clear. I repeated this process the following week, but on Saturday, I had really come up with my story already. My brain was just on fire while I was working on the cover art for Dead End. So I already had come up with most of the story for my next book. I just didn't know what the title was going to be, or really what the cover art was going to be, or a lot of some fine details, but I knew the general story. That one ended up being called Odin's Eye, and it had a lot to do with Viking mythology, and that was a lot of fun to have to do research on. Also has to do with crab fishing, so I had to do some research on crab fishing. The idea is to get these out on a monthly basis starting in 2025, and right now, just currently during this period of months, I have a lot of free time. I might not have that free time available to just write every single day in 2025. So I want to make sure that I take these weeks that I have available to me and write issues so that I can have a backlog of issues to where I don't miss a month. Now, I thought that meant my process was you outline on Monday and you write a couple chapters, and then it's a couple chapters, then cover art on Saturday, reader and all that. Until this week. I have started my cover art early. In fact, I started my cover art on a Sunday, the day before I even would do an outline, because I already had a little bit of an idea of what the story was going to be. I had this visual in my head, and I just wanted to play. I had the evening. I didn't really want to do anything else, so I just sat with my laptop, and I just played with the cover. And I came up with something that I really, really like. And in that process, I had to come up with this short synopsis for the back, and that's where I found my story. Now, I don't know what order these books are necessarily going to come out. They don't have a specific order that they have to come out. They are very much pick anyone up at any given time and enjoy it without having to read any of the other ones or having to have read any of the other ones first. That being said, I don't mind showing you the cover art possibly a month early, 4 months early, 10 months early, and telling you a little bit about the story, because it's its own story. It's just its own standalone story in the life of J. Priest. Jay just bumped into Cyrus Singh at the Museum of Ancient Art and Antiquities, stolen away in her bag a priceless artifact. She begs Jay not to turn her in, and that her reasons are virtuous. But when Jay investigates, he uncovers a web of evidence that points at her as being one of the most prolific art thieves of the century. She swears it's not true. She claims it's a setup. But she keeps proving to be untrustworthy each time Jay gets close to believing her. Turning her in would be the right thing to do. But could that bring unwanted attention Jay's way? Follow along as this case even calls Jay's own identity into question. J. Priest, double identity. So that's where we're at. We are brainstorming the rest of the story from that synopsis, and I will keep you updated with more.